As you know, Detroit real estate is on fire and everybody wants to get a piece of it. We have investors coming to Detroit looking for single family occupied rental properties. They want to do condo conversions, ground up developments. But today, we're going to talk about single family rental portfolios and how you, as a buyer or investor, can be successful. I'm Stephen Edward from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, the Loft Warehouse. We are the experts when it comes to condos, lofts, condo conversions, working with developers, and investment properties. The first thing that you need to realize as a buyer or investor is you need to have realistic expectations. What do I mean by that? I have many buyers call me and say, I'm looking for 20% return. Yeah, well, go stand in line with the rest of America because we're all looking for it. It doesn't exist. I have seen a few houses that do offer over 20% return, and they're very dilapidated houses, mostly duplexes with a unit on the bottom, unit on the top. We got 500 on the bottom, 550 on top, or vice versa. And you can pick those houses up cheap, but there's a lot of repairs. So don't get your dreams all, don't get all excited because they're very rare and you're going to have to put money into the properties. What is realistic is the 10 to 15% return. You can get that all day long. What type of house are you getting with that? You're getting a 3-bedroom brick bungalow, 1,000 square foot, long-term tenant, paying $750 to $800 a month rent. That puts you right in the 14% return, and that is beautiful. That is a money maker. The long-term tenant, that's the key. So how do you be successful at these properties? How do you make an offer? Number one, I have a lot of buyers call me and they tell me, how am I supposed to make an offer if I can't get into the property? I'll tell you what the smart, successful investors do. They look at the numbers. I typically send out a spreadsheet. Here's the property, here's the address, here's the zip code, here's the taxes, the management, the insurance, here's the rent that we're collecting, and here's the price of the house. From that, you can get your return on investment. And you can make a financial decision to say, yes, these numbers sound good. And you make an offer if it sounds good. And you make that offer contingent on inspection and review of due diligence. This gives you the opportunity to get the property under contract. Once it's under contract, you don't have all these other buyers trying to get the property. If you don't do that, you're never going to get in the game, and you want to sit back and analyze your numbers all day, guess what? You're not collecting rent. Get the property under contract. Now we go do the inspection. But we come back to realistic expectations. You have to remember, you're getting a double-digit return and you're paying mid-40s for a house. Don't expect to walk into the house and everything's going to be updated and brand new because that's not the model. You go into the house and I have buyers cry and get upset because there's a chip in the tile, the floors are old, the cabinets are old, the tub needs to be reglazed, and they want all this stuff fixed. Sellers are not fixing that stuff. They're collecting rent. They're happy. The tenants aren't complaining about it. You're not going to live there. You don't need to fix the house up to today's standards. Electrical, plumbing, that thing, yes. But cosmetically, no. Most of the houses were built in the early 1900s. They have original kitchens. They're clean. They function. Tenants happy. You're making money. Don't get in there and start wanting to upgrade everything because you might as well start flipping. You're in the wrong model. You're doing renting right now. Keep that in mind. You have to be realistic. Very, very realistic. Most of these deals are sold off market, and there's a simple reason for it. Landlords and sellers want to protect the tenant. They list it on the MLS. Next thing you know, every agent in town is knocking on the door, trying to see the property. The tenant's like, what the hell's going on? And pretty soon you have a tenant that's looking for another place to live, and there goes your rental income. This is why they're not listed on the MLS. They sell them off market. I've sold many properties, and this is the process of how you do it. You make the offer, contingent on inspection. Once the offer is accepted, now we go take a look at the property. We can't just parade everybody that's interested through the house. People live there. They have their stuff there. This is their home. Being that they're sold off market, it's still the same closing process. We go through a title company, and the title company provides the closing documents. You get your warranty deed. You're going to see all the fees, all the costs, the prorated taxes, the rent, the security deposits, everything is there. It's the same closing process. All these deals are done in cash, so you have to be prepared and have your finances in order. There is a lender out there that I have had success with, but it's for a larger scale deal. They have a minimum of $1 million, and the houses must appraise for a minimum of $40,000. You also have to have previous property management experience. They're not going to just lend the money to anybody. If you meet that criteria and you're looking for a little bit larger of a deal, definitely reach out to me and I can assist you with that. Sellers aren't offering seller financing. If that was the case, they'll keep the property and keep collecting the rent. I haven't seen any seller that's offering seller financing. You have to have your finances in order. Another tip is I have a lot of buyers call me and they ask, I want to fix the property up. I see them for 20 grand, 25 grand, and I'm going to fix it up. I'm really good with my hands. Save yourself the headache, because it's not going to work out that way. That's a dream. My successful buyers and investors, they buy the turnkey, somebody with a house with a tenant in it already, so they can collect rent on the first month. If you want to buy that fixer-upper, this is what you're going to get into. Number one, you got to find the contractor. After you find the contractor, how do you keep them on the job? It seems to be contractors will start a job because they get a down payment. Once they get the down payment, they work for a day and they're gone. They're on to the next house, and they're getting that down payment. Now, if you're not here in the state, if you don't have feet on the ground, you don't have a project manager, how are you going to make sure that they stay at the house? And if they're not at the house, I guarantee you somebody else is. And your furnace is disappearing, your hot water tank is gone. And these are headaches that you can't afford, because now it's going to cost you even more money. You got to probably find another contractor, and this is time. And now the clock's ticking. You're falling behind. You're not collecting rent. You're buying new furnaces, new hot water tanks, and it's an absolute headache. And that's not the business I'm involved in. I deal with turnkey properties so that you can collect rent on the very first month. Extremely, extremely important. The next thing that you want to be aware of is property management. Property management is key. Without having the right property management, your investing dreams are going to go right down the toilet. You have to have a property management company that knows Detroit, that sends out the eviction notices immediately, that knows how to handle the properties, that has people on site that can fix the leaky sink or fix the leaky toilet. They have to have their process set up and ready to go and experienced. There are many, many property management companies in Detroit that are what I would call not up to par. However, I deal with specific property management companies that have a system and it works very well. I can provide you with a very smooth transition from the previous seller to your business name, and you collect rent on the first month. Extremely, extremely important. Which brings me to the certification process. Many, many buyers are afraid of the certification process here in Detroit. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be scared, as long as you know what you're getting into. The biggest thing that the city checks for is lead. They don't want the tenants in and around houses that have lead. We all know it's not good for you. So when you're buying a property here in Detroit, a tenant-occupied property, look for a property where the windows have been updated to vinyl or fiberglass, because that is the biggest culprit of lead. Like I said, most of the houses are built in the early 1900s, and that's what they used. If you buy a house that has the windows already replaced, you're 80% of the way through the certification process. You've bypassed that milestone. It's not going to cost you a fortune to replace all the windows because they've already been done. When you look at these houses built in the early 1900s, like I said, you're not getting a brand new house, but you look at structure, foundation, electrical, plumbing, and the mechanicals. Does it have a good roof? If those are solid and those are good, cosmetics are don't even worry about them. They're minuscule. You want to buy it on that cash flow. Even if the market goes up and down, everybody wants appreciation, and I get that, and I can appreciate you want appreciation, but appreciation is a gamble. It's like rolling the dice. Right now we're in a fantastic market and things are appreciating. But if you're banking on appreciation and the market goes down, your investment just went out the window. If you're banking on the cash flow, even if the value of that house goes up and it comes down, that rental income stays the same, and you can live on that and you can bank on that, and that's how you need to buy the properties. Buy it based on the cash flow. If you get the appreciation, yay, that's a bonus. You're getting extra cash. Maybe you want to dump a couple of houses and cash out and buy a couple more or something like that. But base your purchase on the cash flow. And the cash flow comes from a long-term tenant. And if there's a long-term tenant, that's gold, baby. That's gold all day long. You're collecting rent and you're making money. I'm a one-stop shop. If you're looking for investment properties, single-family portfolios, if you're looking to do a condo development in Detroit, I can tell you what, when, and where, and how much we can sell it for. We can do a feasibility study, and I can say based on these finishes and these amenities and this location, this is what we can sell it for. We take those numbers based on the number of units, subtract it from what you're buying this property for or the building, and we know if the deal's good or not. I can definitely assist you in all levels of investing in Detroit. Again, my name's Stephen Edward. I hope this information helps. I wanted to share with you what my successful buyers and investors are doing. If you're looking for something to invest in Detroit, reach out to me. My website, StephenEdwardDetroit.com, and you can hit me on all the social media channels at Stephen Edward Detroit. Thanks for watching my video.